Okay, so what kind of situation do we currently have on NZD JPY? Let's start from the weekly time frame. Now, on the weekly time frame, it's pretty clear that we have a market that has created this W formation. Now, after W formation, specifically, if the last leg of the W creates an impulse, which is this strong, you definitely want to see the market make a retracement. Ideally, you would like to see the market make a retracement back to this level here. Why? Because this was the previous support here, turned resistance, and now again support from a weekly perspective, and also the previous resistance now turned support at this level. So definitely you would like to see the market make a move down to this level. If we go down on the daily time frame, what kind of situation we can see? Now, on the daily, we can see that the market is pretty overextended to the upside, and we would like to see a deeper retracement. However, we can also notice that the market already started a first retracement, which leads us to being forced to look left. And what we can see if we look left, we can see that currently the market is inside of a pretty strong structure level. Why? Because before making all of this move to the downside, the market had consolidated inside of this range. Now, every time that you see a range in the market, you can expect the market to go and test the high of the range, then move lower, try to make the move to the upside, and then finally break to the downside. Now, at the moment, the market has already reached the high of the range, moved down, and is already trying to respect the low of the range. If we go on the weekly, just one other second, because I want to show you this, we have our target to the downside. However, we must also notice that we do have some support at this level, which is not, it's a lot of support, okay? The market had stopped here, started the retracement and the consolidation on the daily. And this is exactly the same level that we have also here on the weekly, and that we have already identified from a weekly perspective, from a daily perspective, sorry. But if you extend this level to the left, you can see that it was acting as strong resistance also here, almost tapped here, preceding all this move to the upside. So this is definitely a strong area that the market is currently facing, and from which we definitely want to see the market show a reaction and make a move to the upside. So, recapping what we have seen, from a weekly point of view, we have a bearish pattern in mind, and we want to see the move to the downside, but on the daily time frame, and we have our target here, but on the daily time frame as well, we would like to see a deeper retracement, but we did acknowledge that we have strong support here. So, recapping the things and putting things basically in the easiest way as possible, so keeping our chart as clean as possible. We know that we have support here. We know that we have an overall downside target at this level here from a weekly point of view. So we have our target. We know that we have support here. Perfect. This is exactly what we needed to do from a weekly and daily perspective. Let's go and see what we have from a COT point of view. So what hedge funds and big institutions are currently doing from an NZD perspective, and what they are currently doing from a JPY perspective. So let's start by an NZD point of view. What do we have? We can clearly see that with the last reports, hedge funds have added a lot of long positions, thousands of longs. In fact, net positions increased from minus 15K to minus 12K, bringing the longs at 14K and the shorts at 27K. So still more shorts than longs, but longs are increasing. In fact, we went from 10K to 14K with shorts more or less not changing. And if we go and see what we have from a JPY point of view, we can see that net positions a little bit decreased, but overall we had a clear shift from a negative positioning to a positive positioning. So from minus 56K all the way up to plus 32K. What does it mean? It means that hedge funds went from having way more shorts than longs to having way more longs than shorts. In fact, at the moment, 61K longs on the JPY. So going back to NZD JPY, how we will be approaching this kind of situation with students. Now, if the market from here will respect this support and continue with the move to the upside, we are not interested in the move. We are perfectly happy to miss out on the move to the upside because there are definitely better pairs to follow that have better probabilities. Why? Why don't we want to be looking for the long? Because, as we said, from a weekly point of view, we have support and resistance at this level, but most importantly, we have this W formation. So on the weekly, we have a bearish pattern, and we don't want to be buying based only on the daily time frame if on the weekly we have a bearish pattern. So the only moment in which we will be interested in NZD JPY is if we will see a clear break of this daily structure to the downside, because at that point on the daily time frame we will have this strong previous support here, which will be turned resistance. And if this will happen, if this daily support will be turned resistance, then the daily time frame will be bearish. The weekly time frame, as we have already seen, is already bearish. And how we will be approaching this market, we will be monitoring price action inside of this area with students, waiting for the market to provide to us one of our valid entries. And as soon as the market will provide to us one of our valid entries, we will be taking a nice short with a very good risk to reward and very good probabilities for the move to the downside. Now, if you enjoyed this free analysis and education, make sure you drop a like and a comment. It really does support the creation of more free education and analysis for all of you, and I will see you in the next video.